I can't do that. You want me to I'm gonna reveal the secrets. Then anybody, I know what you're doing. You want the secret. Okay, well here it is. Here's the secret to being an effective rodeo clown, picking people out of the crowd. Find the one with the beard.
Living life, living right. If you wanna ride with me, you better hold on tight. All right. Gas is calling for wild rides. The forecast is calling for wild rides. It might be sunny and blue skies, but the forecast is calling for wild rides.
This episode provides a glimpse of the rich history that surrounds our Western roots. TC Energy understands the importance of capturing and sharing this culture for generations to come, and we would like to welcome you to this episode.
I've always been a small town kid. I grew up for the most of my life in Okanagan, Washington. So I graduated with 38 kids. Not hard to be an athlete when you only have 7 other kids in your class, you know. But I really was into athletics in high school, and rodeo was not my thing. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't like I knew I was going to go. I was going to be a professional football player, or I was going to do something in sports. And then I got old and realized that I don't quite have that ability, and I'm not going to get there. And I started teaching school. I went to Washington State University and I rodeoed there. It wasn't until late high school that I really even got into rodeo, and I wanted to be a bull rider at that point. You know, you always want to do the toughest and be the coolest, and so I drove myself into that event, which was also a bad decision in my life because I'm not a good bull rider and never have been a good bull rider. But it did spark this interest in rodeo for me. It did spark this interest in, there's so much more than just one event. You know, there's 9 events, and the rodeo atmosphere is amazing. And so that's what kind of drew me into it. And rodeoed through college, and then started teaching school after that in Walla Walla, Washington. And 2008, when my son was born, I finally stepped away from it and started being a rodeo clown full time. You know, the story of getting into the rodeo clowning is very simple. I had a buddy that was my neighbor, really, Pat Beard, and Beard Rodeo Company was around forever, Frank and Charlotte. And so he said, hey, I'm going to put a bull riding on. You're a goofy guy. I need you to be the clown. And I was like, that's fine, but I'm not wearing the stupid makeup. You know, well, yeah, you are. So I said, no, I'm not. He said, I'll give you $250. How much makeup you need me to wear, you know, just on my nose, or So we did the event, and it just, Frank saw me and tried to hire me for 7 of these pro rodeos, you know, probably because I was cheap, but so what? He wanted me, and I realized at that point that maybe I had a knack for it, and I had prepared these acts, you know, these scripts. I wrote out scripts. I worked for months on these things. I had this dog shrinking box and all these acts. When I was driving to Vancouver for the bull riding, one of my contraptions blew out of the back of the truck, shattered on the highway, you know, and I'm picking it up, duct taping, trying to put it back together, but man, everything just went to hell. So when I showed up, it was great because I had to wing it. And I realized that's my forte, for sure. I needed a change. I had been teaching for 8 years, and I was definitely that teacher in the building that you know, if there was a troubled kid in the school, he wound up in my room because I just had that kind of energy and I just attracted that kind of student. You know, it might sound arrogant, I hope it doesn't, but I was the favorite teacher. You know, all the kids always wanted to be in my room, or they'd want to come in at lunch, they'd want to hang out. And it wasn't because I was doing anything special, it was just because I was energetic. I was kind of like one of them, you know, and so it really was what I enjoyed. And middle school is what I taught, and middle school humor still makes me laugh. I mean, there's nothing better than a good poop joke. Sometimes it just makes you giggle, and so I really enjoyed that. But when I started this clowning deal, with Pat getting me into that one event, it showed me that there's so much more out there in life where you can use the skills that you really are blessed with. And mine have always been an entertainer. I've always wanted people, and it comes maybe from my mother. We would have, at parties, she would instruct me, you will talk to everybody in the party and you'll make people feel comfortable. And that's really what I do now, because we're gonna have rodeo fans that have been here 30 years and some of them for the first time, but we want everybody to feel welcome, feel comfortable, and that's part of my job whether I'm announcing or the rodeo clown. And so when I decided that I could make this skill set turn into a paycheck, I thought, maybe I ought to give this a whirl. And my big business decision was this. I decided I was doing amateur rodeos in the NPRA, which is Northwest Professional, so it's an amateur association. I was consistent every weekend all summer, but nothing really in the spring and fall and the off season. I went back to teaching. And I thought to myself, well, I'm almost making a teaching salary just doing summer rodeos. So maybe what I'll do is I'll if I can match my salary, then I will step away and I'll be able to add other rodeos that will supplement the income that will pay for the loss of health insurance and the loss of retirement and those kinds of things. And the first year, not because I'm a star, just because teachers are underpaid, the first year I did that. I surpassed my salary, and so I thought, man, I'm gonna do this. And I stepped away. 2008 was my last year of teaching. It was the same year my son was born, so it was like, here's this brand new dad who just quit his job that was safe. It was so safe. Teaching is such a safe job, with your retirement, with the health care, with all the positive come with it, but it really is an underpaid job. And I thought to myself, I don't want to live check to check, and obviously teachers have gotten raises, and I'm not putting down that profession anyway. I have so much respect for them. But I want to do something a little bit more. I want to take a risk. If you don't take a risk in life at some point, you're going to sit back on the sidelines, and when you're done, you're going to wish you had. Even if it fails, you're going to wish you had. You want to know. And so, like you were saying, all in. I went all in, head first, just let's see how this works out. And it's one of those stories for me that worked out fantastic. I can't see myself doing any other job. I can't see my life going any different direction. Being an entertainer in rodeo has definitely been my forte. And I think all the people that have helped me realize that, because I sucked when I started. I mean, I was terrible. I was like an ADHD fruit fly bouncing around in an arena, driving people crazy. I mean, I think Wayne Brooks wanted to choke me and still does every now and then, The only guy that probably has my sporadic wildness is Tallman, because we're both just fruit flies, So it was really tough, and a lot of people along the way, the Steve Kenyons, they just sat down and said, buddy, you got a lot of talent, but here's how we need to direct it. And so that definitely made a huge difference, and it made this job a lot easier and made me do it better. Certainly somebody that's been into the juice a little bit will help, but sometimes that goes the other way on you, where they become, pretty soon they're grinding on your leg like a weirdo. So.
It's not just any other hat. It's a 143-year-old time-tested tradition. 100% fur felt, built, and shaped by expert hands. Custom fit for the life you live. Burns hats turns heads. So expect compliments. Burns hats, above average because you are.
Since opening in Hebron in 1940, Dakota Community Bank and Trust has been your hometown bank. Our mission has been to provide modern banking convenience with old-fashioned hometown service. We've grown with the communities we serve through year-round events, countless sponsorships, and nearly 7,000 hours of volunteering each year. Learn more about our 80-year history at dakotacommunitybank.com.
Trails West has been producing the best horse and stock trailers in the industry for over 30 years. We invite you to visit your local Trails West dealer today. At Trails West, the only trailer in its class.
4T Construction of Watford City is committed to outstanding customer service while also being a diligent steward of the environment. Our strong entrepreneurial spirit is combined with an old-fashioned work ethic, and our goal is to be your preferred contractor today and tomorrow. Whether you have a commercial project or are improving your home, farm, or ranch, 4T Construction has the know-how and common sense to get the job done right. 4T Construction, providing value one handshake at a time.
So when routing wires on truck frames and up to the batteries and around the engine compartment, you want to be very careful to properly cover the wiring, circuit protect it so that it has a chance to last for several miles and several years to give you trouble-free failure.
know he does behind the scenes. He's very compassionate. Every place we go, anybody we meet, he's the guy who's going to give you the shirt off of his back. It's always a joke for us. He's always cleaning out the trailer. If JJ has something, he's giving it away. You don't want anything. I think that might be part of his personality of being able to travel and that whole nomad lifestyle. But he is so ready to just give anybody. He doesn't care who it is. If he knows them, he's giving and compassionate, and that's something most people don't get to see because they see him in the arena doing his thing, and then we move on. But I get to see what he does for, just communities on the side, or the random kid who comes up, or the family that he sees far away and he's watching them, and he goes and he just gets a bunch of stuff and spoils them with, could be a stupid t-shirt or a hat, but it just changes kind of how that family's gonna even have the perspective of the rodeo. It changes everything, but the behind the scenes parts of what he does, it makes it personal for that family. And then that's important. We get messages from these families all throughout the year, or sometimes we'll get letters in the mail, or we have gifts, just pictures. Kids don't have a lot to give, so you'll get a lot of drawn pictures with little letters on it, and all the words are misspelled. It's really sweet. But I get to see that part of JJ where he's, behind the scene. He reaches out constant. It never ends.
I can't do that. You want me to I'm gonna reveal the secrets to anybody. I know what you're doing. You want the secret. Okay, well here it is. Here's the secret to being an effective rodeo clown, picking people out of the crowd. Find the one with the beard. There you go. That's it. That's all you do. I don't know. It's really, there's always people that want to be involved in the action. Everybody wants to feel a part of the show. Everybody. Even Joe Shyboy that sits in the back corner, way in the back, doesn't do anything. He still wants to feel like his presence helps the show. He's a part of it in some way. Maybe it's just clapping, maybe it's just spectating, but he's a part of it. He helps the show. But the people that really you want to reach out for, and right here in Hilo yesterday, I could tell right away. I knew some people from Ellensburg. I don't know them, but I knew they'd be gamers, and we needed to fill some time, and I just knew that, even as an announcer, because you can see the way they interact. You can see the way they're moving. When you talk about them, are they cheering? Are they excited? And so you kind of get those real animated people. That's my strategy, is to get the real animated people, because I'm going to pull them into the arena, and then you're going to take them to the next level. They're going to come down thinking they're going to do their thing, and you're going to make them do your thing. And that's where it becomes funny. And usually it's the big guy, you're going to get him dancing to something cool, and then all of a sudden we're going to do ballet together. And that's what, then all of a sudden it becomes funny. So really it's finding that person that you feel like is not going to be real self-conscious, that they're here to have a good time, they're having fun. Certainly somebody that's been into the juice a little bit will help, but sometimes that goes the other way on you. you know, where they become, pretty soon they're grinding on your leg like a weirdo. So you really want to find a nice balance, and I've had really good success with that. I've had some great people that, you know, people that wear gigantic costumes and things like that. Sometimes they're easy targets, very simple targets to find them. But my favorite stuff are the people that you don't expect. There are those people that are dressed up, maybe like straight lace, nice collared Western shirt, you know, and then all of a sudden they just break it out. And I think one thing that's helped me, to be honest with you, in my rodeo clowning is the fact that for the last 8 years I've hosted the party in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand. That actually has helped me to figure out who to get up on stage and how to get people to get out of that comfort zone, but do it quickly, because you don't have a lot of time. You know, in this profession, you might have a 30-second window or a 7-minute window, but they're not going to tell you until they go, oh, stop. So you got to find those people and get that emotion, get that energy out of them quickly.
He picks on me every single rodeo, and I remember, so I used to flag this rodeo several years ago, and the first time I flagged it and he was, you know, talking about me, you know, I wanted to fight with him, but after I realized how he is and how, you know, so now he comes here, he's usually at my house at least 3 days over here, or we go to dinner, or we do something, yeah, so we became really good friends, so.
It can't be just picking on somebody. You know, if you're just picking on somebody over and over again, that's the definition of bullying. So you can't be a bully in the arena. You've got to bring people along with some comedy, even if it's at their expense. You got to have, I mean, if I pick on somebody, I'm gonna come right with, I got these gigantic ears, or there's got to be some self-deprecating humor that comes out so people buy into you.
We have 2 more days, so I'm sure he's gonna get me some more. He's just lucky I don't have a mic so I can come back at him, that's all.
You have to develop your personality with people. So sometimes you'll come off abrasive, or you'll come off inappropriate, or you'll come off, but then when they realize the amount of love and the amount of respect that you have for these people, everything changes. So, you know, I've been at this rodeo here, we're right in Hilo this is my 12th year. And at the beginning of it, I couldn't get away with the stuff I do now. I've developed a rapport, I've developed a relationship. That's why I'm a huge fan of staying at a rodeo. I know a lot of guys, they want to change, they do a big act, and they want to change each year so that, you know, we saw the act this year, we'll see a different act next year. I've never been that way. I've really taken pride in the fact that I want to stay at a rodeo for years. I want to develop a rapport, I want to develop people who will be involved in this comedy and in my career with me. And I don't want people to think or see my weaknesses. Not just because I'm afraid of some other clown trying to get my job. I don't care about that. I don't want the fan to see it.
Hey, Benny Paulson here from the band Breaking 8, inviting you to check out our new album, Double Down, available on iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music, and anywhere music is available. Or check out breaking8.com for more information.
Experience the island of Hawaii with the Grand Naniloa Resort. Take an epic hike to beautiful waterfalls and secret swimming holes. Explore the thrills of four-wheeling through the rugged terrain and capture breathtaking scenery as you soar through the air and zipline through paradise. Learn about the world's newest black sand beach on the shores of Pohoiki. Discover all the island has to offer only with the Grand Naniloa Resort.
Hey, put on your Justin boots and come ride with us on the Cowboy Channel, Wild Rides.
When you're looking for quality pre-owned vehicles from a company with the experience you can trust, turn to the experts of Iona Car Sales, where service and integrity is a family tradition. We offer the best pre-owned vehicles in Hawaii. cars, trucks, and SUVs are all available from all the major manufacturers. We are happy to offer service for our vehicles. Financing options are available to make your purchase easily. For more information, give us a call today to learn more about what we can do for you.
I feel like I'm one of those guys. I'm 44 years old now. I just got a new titanium hip. I've had injections in my spine, 44 of them. I'm trying to stay young. I feel like I'm a good entertainer in the arena as a rodeo clown when I'm young, when I act young, when I feel young, when I am young. My wife appreciates that too. But I see the end, unfortunately, for me. I see it. A few years ago, I thought it was going to be in 2018. I even had a rodeo try to book me in 2019. I said, I'll probably be retired by then. My back was so screwed up and my hip was just terrible. And I don't show pain, and I don't want people to think or see my weaknesses. Not just because I'm afraid of some other clown trying to get my job. I don't care about that. I don't want the fan to see it. I don't want people up there to be like, well, man, he's not looking as fast as he used to be. You know, in Sisters, Oregon, Dan Fouts, Hall of Fame San Diego Charger quarterback, throws me a pass every Saturday afternoon performance. I've never dropped one. I mean, he's thrown some ducks too, you know, like I got to run over and get under, and some of them he's thrown right into my mid, most of them. He's awesome. But I don't want to be too old that I can't do that little stick anymore, that little thing, that little nugget. You know, I want to be able to run across the arena and pump the crowd. So, you know, where am I going? Maybe this rodeo announcing thing will be the next step for me, but I think it's going to be hard for people in the PRCA level and the professional level to take me real serious at that. I think I'll have to really prove myself, and probably with that I'll go do a lot of amateur rodeos. But I don't see the end of my clowning coming right now. You know, with the new hip, with the stem cell. I mean, I think I'm doing things to prolong my career. I'm being proactive, and so I'm hoping that I can pull 4 or 5 more years out. They're so great, and it's funny because they're so worried every year that I'm not going to come back. Every year, my wife will tell you, every year you're coming back, Blue Sarah coming back. I'm like, listen, it's February in Hawaii. Try to get me not to come back. I mean, I love it here. My son, you know, when we get off the plane, he goes, smells like home. Like, he really does. He loves it. And for all 11 years of his life, he's come to this rodeo. He's never not come. So he's got so many friends and so many memories and so many things here. And I love that. My daughter, Roxy, is 3 weeks old right now. She's here in Hilo, you know. So those are relationships that I can't wait. I hope that he develops friendships here and has a connection to Hawaii the rest of his life. And I think he already has, but we got to continue to grow that. When somebody comes over, and so many times, and this is, you know, we have this problem as Americans going to other countries. Sometimes we get a bad rap because of a few. So I think the Hawaiian people, and all Hawaiian people, the people who live on Hawaii, see a lot of tourists constantly. And some of them are selfish tourists. They want to go, I want to go to here, and I want to be on my beach, and I want to drink my beer, and I want to, you know, and they almost try to take the island. They want to take the island and make it what they want it to be, and you can't do that. You've got to become a part of the island. And when you do that, when you become a part, you have a true interest in the things and the people that are here. Because, I mean, you can go anywhere and find green grass and big trees and lots of birds. There's other places that are like that. But the people that live here are nowhere else on this planet. They're right here. And you embrace that, you learn about them, you learn what they enjoy. I mean, I've got people that, probably 7 couples, to be honest with you, 7 couples have paid thousands of dollars to come to the NFR in Las Vegas, Nevada, just so they can come and see me on the MGM Grand Stage. It's crazy, because we got married here last year. Drop of the hat, my wife and I decided, let's just get married in Hawaii, it'd be great. So we have this wedding with people who see us once a year. There was 25 people. Every single one of them brought way fancier and nicer gifts than they ever should have. They barely know us, I felt like, but they enjoy us so much. It was so neat, you know. And it felt great. It felt so amazing to be one of the crew. And I think that I've joined the atmosphere. I feel like I've definitely joined it.
On a fender, got it tuned up, give it something to remember. We're living life, living right. If you wanna ride with me, better hold on tight. Driving by the moon, picking on a fender, got it tuned up, give it something to